I just did a full interview with the best node for 2025. I did interview with Yannick, the CEO from Swarm Network. So Swarm, they just raised $3 million in seed round. It's the first AI node on Sui chain. We talk about tokenomics, the benefits of holding the node, how the node is going to work, their partnership with Google Cloud. He explained everything. Now, sorry about the back noise. It was a dog barking for around 10-15 minutes. Sorry about that. Just ignore it. We cannot stop dogs barking. But it's a lot of information right here. Also, we got we touch base for like the tokenomics, how many tokens the team going to get, how it's going to work, when and where will be the token launch, what will be the price of the token launch. So we touch basis of everything. Again, watch the video to the end. If you have any question, hit me down in the comment section. Enjoy.
So I'm recording. So welcome back, everybody. Today, finally, I have Yannick here. So before Yannick introduces himself, who is he? This is Swarm. So it's the hottest node cell, the first AI node cell on Sui chain, all right? And the hottest node cell for 2025. I did a video for them, and I will do probably a few more videos because the pre-sale is coming in only a couple of days' time, or to be precisely on the 27th of this month. But I will do full video, step by step, how to buy the node and all that stuff. Today I got Yannick, and it's taking me a while to get him here on camera because we need to ask him few serious questions. Many people ask me questions and I don't know the answers. I say, you know what, let's get Yannick and let's ask him the questions, and then he can give, hopefully, to all of you the answers you ask. And I have already in my list like several questions. Probably you will answer all of them, how we go through the video. Yannick, first of all, so Yannick, who you are, tell me, what did you do before Swarm? What is Swarm? How did you come with the name? In the nutshell, you don't need to go too much in detail, but people need to know, like, what is Swarm? Because I know AI is like the next big thing for 2025, but Swarm is something different. It's not just the next AI. It's something what you've been working for months and months and months on this project. So who you are, what project you worked before, if you can tell me a little bit about yourself, and let's go after that question by question.
Yeah, sure. First of all, thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate you inviting me on, and I'm happy to be here. And by the way, you can hear me, right? Just to double check. Okay,
yeah, all good.
So we're all good. All right. So yeah, my name is Yannick. Previously, I was with Delicium. Delicium is also an AI project. Yeah, that's the one indeed. We were building AI agents, and we were building an AI agent network. However, there was kind of like a misalignment of interest, and I decided to step up and start my own project. My own project is called Swarm Network. And what Swarm Network is, it's a multi-agent collaboration framework. What that means is a framework that allows for the interoperability between agents. It doesn't really matter where the agents are from, whether you're building them with, your preferred or favorite agent builder. Might it be open source, might it be closed source, it doesn't really matter, but you can allow your agents to join a swarm. And the swarms are supposed to be utility driven. So what that means is that you create a swarm, and the swarm essentially is like a middleware layer that services a certain endpoint, and that endpoint might be a user or a business or maybe our protocol. So we created a protocol as well as a kind of like a showcase. I can really quickly touch on it. I don't want to go into too much detail because I guess there's a lot of questions about it, but to exemplify and to show people what is possible with these agent swarms, we created a truth protocol. And what the truth protocol does is it allows one of our swarms, one of the first large-scale swarms that is built using our framework, to bring arbitrary data on-chain and verify it in real time. So there's already one D app that's built on top of this protocol that uses these agents, which is called Rollup News. And users can try it. So essentially how it works is you can tag Rollup News on Twitter if you find some information that you want to be more clear about, perhaps fact-checked. And then once you tag Rollup News plus the word rollup, you'll actually get information rollup, which is generated by the swarm and the protocol in tandem. So that's kind of like how we want to show people, hey, look, these things actually can drive real value in the world, and they have really good utility.
Okay, so that what you explained there, it's very important. So it's not just an AA project; it's a project where you have real world utility, where everybody can use. for to go and chase the fake news. What we all have issue with that, you know. So again, anybody want to give a try, just go on Twitter and just under the post, I think you need to put a roll up, correct?
Yeah, rollup lower dash news. That's the account. So add rollup lower dash news, and then you add rollup in the comment, and then that will activate the agent swarm to do the work for you on your behalf using the content that you requested.
Okay, that's amazing. So, Yannick, how long you been working on this project, and how big is the team?
Yeah, so it's an interesting story because when I left Delicium, a part of the team actually joined me. So one of the former co-founders of Delicium, she joined me to start this company, and a large part of the team actually came with us because we didn't ask them to, but when we left, they were like, hey, you know, like we want to work with you, and you know, if you're leaving, then we want to follow you where you go. So right from the start, we had a really strong team and we hit the ground running. So Morty, our CTO, was ex-RCTAI, but also Delicium. And yeah, so that's yeah, how we got started, right? Yeah, sorry, what else do you want to know? I forgot, man. It slipped my mind.
So how long you've been working on the project?
Right. So low-key, I've been working on the project for over a year because, you know, there's a long process of kind of like doing the hypothetical product market fit from a theoretical perspective. And then we were doing a lot of research with, so here you see Mark Klein, he's a PhD, he's one of the collective intelligence researchers at MIT. We spent quite some time with him to talk about certain implementations and how we can really make the framework so that, you know, like the information value that is generated through the agents is a maximum, is maximized. And also there were questions about how we could find consensus among large groups. And so we had a kind of like this pre-run before we really started to advertise it, where we were just figuring out how to make the product the most optimal. And then starting from January this year, we really started to work on it. And I think the first post must have been somewhere like in May. So that's when we went public, May of 2024.
I can hear the dog behind you.
Yeah, the dog is angry because somebody's driving away, but I'll mute in between you asking questions.
All right, so okay, thanks for that. So I'm going right now for the roadmap. And by the way, this is all the white paper right here. You can go and check it out. I will leave the link down in the description. So the roadmap says here we have Q1 in-year license launch, so that's coming very soon. AI rollups news V2, agent staking. Okay. So that's that. If you can give me a little bit more information about this one, and then when we're planning for the token generation event or for the TGE, if you have any dates maybe, or maybe a month, just for the people to be aware of it, and also how this is working, because many people are asking like, wait a minute, do I need some specification or anything? And because I do know how it's working. It's very simple. You just buy the node on Sui chain. Again, I'll do a full video for this one in the next couple of days. And then you buy the node. It's 1,999 USDC on Sui chain. Make sure you have some Sui in your wallet. Make sure you use a hardware wallet just to protect yourself. You buy and you just hold the node, and that's about it. And you're earning tokens. So how it's working is they'll have like 1.8 million, if I'm not mistaken, shared to everybody who hold the nodes. So less nodes are sold, more tokens you get. More nodes are sold, less tokens you get. Simple as that. Jan, if you want to mention anything about here, like for the agent staking, or if I miss anything with how to buy the node and all that stuff.
Sure. So yeah, so the agent license staking, I hope the dog on the background is not too loud, but agent license staking is essentially an additional program that we have for allowing our users to lock up their tokens and get a little bit more access to the platform. So if you're on an agent license, you are by default a agent operator. So what that means is that you can not just operate an agent, but actually you can solicit agents to join your swarm. So a side note there is that Swarms eventually on the platform that we're building, which is a no-code platform, so a no-code tools platform for Swarm creation and management, these Swarms can also launch assets. And use an agent license, you will get benefit from the assets that are essentially launched on that platform. So so that is relatively exciting, I suppose. And the more you stake under your agent license, the more tokens you stake, the bigger your share would be from the potential revenue pools and token pools that are generated once our agent builder goes live. So the agent builder goes live in Q3. We're working on it really hard, and it might be so that we can release it a little bit earlier. But first up is definitely like the TGE. I think the TGE is super important, and we have it on the roadmap for Q2. If it's going to be Q2, it's definitely going to be early Q2, but we're going to try and bring it a little bit forward because our team has a lot of experience in incubating and bringing projects to market. So one of the other co-founders, his name is Fuad. He's also running an incubator and VC, which is called Zero Stage. They've incubated and brought to market several projects with massive success, especially at the time. So we are quite confident in terms of like our go-to-market strategy. However, we definitely want to be able to make sure that we are, positioned correctly and that the market is serving us correctly when we do go live. But I think that's pretty exciting because once we do go live, that also accelerates the rest of our roadmap because the token utility is tied into every single product that we are releasing. So it will be increasingly more important for us to roll out the token as we progress through time. Because, for example, on the agent builder platform, if you want to get allocation for certain swarms that are being launched, you would actually have to also have tokens, right? So, token generation events is in general one of our main focuses right after we start the agent license.
Okay, so my next question to you will be, in a nutshell, just to explain, you already got in touch, but how, so when somebody buy a license, like a note or license, what other benefits they will have? So they will get their tokens, they'll be able to stake, of course, so they can generate more APR if they want. So they're going to be able to stake their note, or they're going to be able to stake their tokens. So and what other benefits is you getting by just buying the notes? Like, what you can do with that? I know also you're going to have a marketplace in Q3. What is very unique for everybody who's going to have a note? So you can give me a little bit more information about that.
Sure. So if as an agent license holder, you get the right to manage an agent swarm, right? So swarms are the backbone of everything that happens on the platform, and the swarms, they have to be reputable, they have to be trustworthy, and they have to be essentially governed or co-governed by you as an agent license holder, but also the people that you solicit or the people that you get together with you to create this swarm, right? So there's this very clear benefit where you are allowed to create a swarm, you own that swarm, you can launch assets for that swarm, you can promote that swarm then on the marketplace, you can actually build a swarm for a certain purpose, whether that be the truth protocol or something different. We're working closely with third parties to create real world use cases for these swarms. So like I said, these swarms are a middleware layer to kind of establish or to generate, to run functions really for businesses, right? So normally that might happen in the back end, right? So you build a business logic, it happens in the back end. But now we're saying you can run your business logic entirely on a swarm and it will be much more dynamic. But obviously, if somebody builds that for you and you use it, so for example, Rollup News is one of those examples, then you have to actually have to pay for it, right? Like there's a certain service fees that have to go to the people that run the swarm, but also the network that connects you with it and so on. So you get access to all of that in the form of ownership, right? So that's the key word here, is like ownership. You own, you operate, and thus you earn. If you don't fancy operating, you can lease it out. So if you find a developer, if you find a team that is able to potentially create agents and add those agents to your swarm and make your swarm better, then essentially you can lease them your license, which would mean that they borrow your license. Maybe there would be a fee for it, or maybe there would just be like a profit share for it, right? But you still retain the benefits of the token generation that is going on. So you don't have to sell or give away your license for it to be useful to somebody else. You make sure that you have the ownership over the thing and you can actually lease it out to somebody else to build the swarm that you want, right? So there's kind of like a dynamic there that we find really important, because we also understand that there's a lot of people that do want to invest and do want to support the project, but they don't have the technical know-how, or maybe they don't have the patience or the time to build a swarm by themselves, but they still want to be involved, right? So we're giving them various reasons to do so.
Okay, that's explained a lot. That's explained a lot, to be honest, because that was like most of my like 8 question. Like, what you can do by the nodes is just again just a node, or do you have going to have any other benefits? But I can see here basically you can use the nodes to contribute a lot through the system and also earn extra. So how? 3 questions now. First question: how you said that from the rewards from the nodes and all that stuff, like. Not from the nodes, but how they will going to be able to make money, these agents? How they're going to be able to generate revenue?
So that's obviously a really important question that is asked a lot in Web3, right? It's like, where does the revenue come from? And usually the revenue model for projects is like something that's very far away in the future. And if you really think deeply about it, people are talking about they're creating economies, but then for an economy to exist, you definitely need participants, right? And usually it's just a one-sided coin where they have a solution, but maybe there's no real product market fit, or there's no real value, or there's no real kind of like requirement for their services to be used in general. I think you see this a lot, but that's exactly why we decided that it would be really good for us to build out the use case right from the start. So that's why we built the Truth Protocol. So the Truth Protocol is essentially a protocol that allows for the exchange of value based off arbitrary data, right? So that's the first use case, and that is immediately a use case that people are right now using. We're building other infrastructure and we're building other DApps on top of this protocol that are serviced by these swarms. So by default, you can join the Truth Protocol. Like if you don't know what to do, then okay, join the Truth Protocol, create a swarm that, participates in the consensus forming or the data generation or the data extraction or whatever part of the process you think that your swarm would serve well. There's basically these ready-made templates that you can just spin up, and you can have your swarm to be active from the moment that the agent builder is online. So that's one thing, and that's really important for us, because we're like, hey, you can build a framework, but if nobody actually wants to use the framework, then like, where's the value? How does the value accrue? So that's the first thing. To give you a little bit of insight, for example, yesterday more than 49,000 articles and information sources were propagated through the protocol and analyzed by the agents. So that is real value creation, real value extraction, because that is driven by the users, right? So everybody that uses the product on X is essentially making calls to the protocol, and the agents will be earning from that. So the second thing is that there will be a service marketplace where I, as a third party, whom we are also working closely with right now, there's certain businesses that are interested and that want to create initial use cases where they can say, hey, look, we want to build this. We have the money to pay for the inference. We have the money to pay for the service, but we need somebody to provide this. Right, so it's kind of like a marketplace to say like, hey, okay, maybe Phil wants to build whatever. Like Phil wants to build like a DeFi swarm where the agents can analyze different types of data, not just data from taxes and sections, but they can also correlate that data to what's happening on the news. Right, that could be one thing. So like if you want to build that thing and you have budget for it, then you can promote that on the platform, and then you can come around and you can say, hey, okay, well, I'm going to build this thing, right? So that's another part of the value creation process. And what we have allocated for this to make it work is we have allocated grants and a community fund. So we're going to use that grant and the community fund to incubate and to accelerate the matching between swarms and service requesters, but also service providers. So we're going to deploy some capital to do that.
Okay, that's amazing. So that's a very good use case. Next one, Google Cloud partnership. So this is a big one. I can see right here, and you did announce, I think it was a few days back. There we go, Google Cloud. What kind of partnership is this one?
So first of all, like we have a bunch of friends over at Google and at Google Cloud that have been really nice to us in general, especially over the past project, but also this project. So we've been using some of their AI infrastructure, and they have some proprietary and new AI stuff under the hood. For example, like Gemini 2.0 Flash, an experimental version, but also a really nice suit to like train and fine tune models. So they gave us a grant, a substantial grant, and they gave us full access to those tools, the new tools as well that are being released, or some of them that have not officially been released yet. So we get access to the infrastructure that we need to kind of like experiment and try and accelerate the development of our infrastructure. So that's been super helpful, man. It's like, you know, it's like your big brother comes along and like gives you like a 10x pep talk and power up, and it's, yeah, I feel very blessed, man, because it's really important for us that we are able to, you know, play this game at a higher level and actually go really fast, like in terms of development. And that seems to be, that seems to be working, you know. Like we've got a bunch of other big partnerships coming up too, some foundation level partnerships. As you know, we're building with Sui. But yeah, man, like it's a big one, but it's just one. And there's many more to come.
Amazing. I'm so glad to hear that, because Google Cloud, it's a big name there in the world, specifically in the AI and the tech world. It's not just, you know, oh, I did partnership with some kind of, you know, a project like everybody do, project to project, you just do some collaborations and that's about it. But this is a big one. So I'm glad you already have that before even the project is out. Okay, so next thing is actually, this just was released just an hour, 2 hours ago. So you put that we're proud to announce the successful, sorry about that, the successful close of our 3 million seed round. And can you tell me a little bit more about this one? 3 million, it's a very serious number, and also congratulations for that. And I'm happy to hear that. It's a big money for you to have funds to run the project. It's not just, give me the funds. The problem is what I hate with all notes before who coming to me. It's, we're going to have a note. Okay, great. What's the project? We're going to have this and this and this. I say, okay, do you have something what's working? They say no. First we say we get the money, then we build up, and then we deliver. It's like, wait a minute. And do you know what's happened with most, like 90% of the project? Most of them, they delay for months, then they never deliver, they fail, they rug, and something like that. So that's why I highly respect you, because you are well known in the crypto space. I think, especially with the nodes, and you have big connections out there in the world. I think we all know how the things work. You know, once you build up your name, like you build up with your Elysium, and probably you work here and there, some different places, and then people like you and respect you. And that's why I can see even when I went to your advisors, you have a big name here, you know, and even if you have to, for your team, you have like a Martin from Binance, from OV, also these guys from Elysium, they come and join you. What's mean, nobody will come and join you if they don't trust you or they don't like you, you know. So that's why I ape into your project and I say, you know what, I really like this one. I will get 1 or 2 notes. It depends, of course, how much you can afford to lose. Again, by the way, not just financial advice. My next, if you can give me a little bit information right here for this, for your 3 million seed round, like how you're going to use this money and all that stuff. And again, congratulations for raising $3 million in this time.
Yeah, thanks, man. So it's led by Zero Stage and Y2Z. So Zero Stage is a relatively well known, but a little bit more low key incubator and VC. They've actually been part of like the Polygon early stages. They've incubated like a bunch of really cool projects, and like one of the core founders of Swarm is actually the founder of that fund and that incubator. So we were pretty lucky because it's not just that we get the financial support, but it's also we get access to all of the human resources and the connections, right? So that is much more valuable usually than the money itself, but obviously the money is something we do need as a project. And then Y2Z Ventures is also a good venture, a good fund. Not super well known, but you know, it's a seed round. It's the first round that we've raised. And $3 million is not a bad number at all. And then we have a syndicate of a bunch of investors that are private investors, whom are basically like our inner circle. They really trust us. We've worked with them before, and they were like really early to the game, and they basically said like, hey, you know, like if you guys are going to do something, please let us know, and we will help you to get this thing set up. And they are also relatively influential people in the space. It's just that I don't wanna dox them. Maybe later on, you know, we can dox them, but for now, I'll keep them private. But yeah, man, like, yeah, it's about trust, you know, as well. So I think that we've built a trust as a team, not just me, but really the team that's behind me over the years, and people seeing what we are able to do. And I think that's good enough, man. It's like, I'm just trying to do something that is utility driven, utilitarian, and really focused on bringing some value to this world, and people seem to like it, so I'm happy.
Yeah, I do agree. I do agree with that. Let's go and touch a little bit about the tokenomics. So right here we have, by the way, this is the tokenomics. And because people thinking, oh my God, like, you know, when the TGE come, everybody going to dump the tokens, the private seed rounds, the team and all that stuff. But here the things are a little bit different. So let's go for the team first, just to catch for the team private and seed rounds. So the team people have only 10%, but the team allocation is subject to long-term lockups. Is this the 3 years period? Is the team locked? And also, if you can tell me a little bit about the private and for the seed around people who invested.
Correct. So you can see the numbers there in the lock and the vesting, and we intentionally made it like long term because I think that the space currently is kind of like moving towards this really fast-paced, really short life cycle for projects, which I think is really problematic. You see a bunch of projects that go out and then, you know, they pump for maybe like 3 days and then they'll just slowly write down. And if they don't catch the narrative, it's going to be hard to go up again, right? The competition is so crazy. I don't know the number, but there's like 10,000 or 100,000 new assets being launched every day. So how are you going to make your model sustainable? And that's, you know, like, you cannot give everything away because like the pipe dream is like everybody wants to get rich, right? And everybody wants to make money in crypto. But if everybody unlocks at the same time and everybody's unlocked pre-TGE, you know, like obviously, like how's the token performance and how's the value going to accrue? Especially if you don't really have utility for the token. It's like, you know, like how's that gonna play out? And you can see it play out with a lot of projects. It just doesn't work. So we chose to go, I mean, like people call us old school, but I think it's proper. You know, it's like, this is how it's supposed to be. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's how it's supposed to be.
So basically, for everybody who don't know, so right here, everything is in the white paper, by the way. So we have the cliff and also the vesting period. So the vesting period, so let's say this DAO treasury, they only have 5% from the allocation, but they will take them 4 years to get their token. All right, 4 years. Community reserve, 5 years. All right, that's 60 months. That's crazy. And exchange, liquidity, market maker, that's of course like day number one. Of course they need them, but airdrops also, you know, it's not big. It's only 2%. So airdrop is very important, and it's because it's for the community, giveaways and all that stuff. But the team, again, in private and seed, check this out: 36 months, 24 months, 24 months. So if the token launch, let's say, I don't know, April, May, I'll say like May is good month, April, whatever, it's Easter time. We talk about good 2 years for these people to get their tokens up to 3 years, you know? So it's not like, because like you say, it's not like here your tokens go and dump and then no more liquidity and then the project going to eat whatever you have and then everybody are angry and pissed off. So it will be a little bit different. Again, I'm going to make a full video for the tokenomics. Also, there are a few things you need to understand for, I think, for locking for the tokens from the nodes, but doesn't matter. I'll make a full video for that. Okay, good. That's very interesting. So this is the daily distribution what everybody are asking. So going to be around 1.8 million tokens per day, split between everybody who own a nodes. Okay. So again, watch my video from, probably will be released before this video, probably released today, and I will release this video tomorrow. But watch that, and also you have a halving period, just the same like Bitcoin here, and it's coming every 2 years. So again, here we talk about you're going to get tokens from the node for the next, we talk about 2, 4, 6, 8 years at least, correct? And maybe even longer. So it's a big thing. It's a big thing. So that's why I like the nodes, because for me it's a passive income, especially if you have a good team behind with a working project, with especially now with the AI for 2025, what is crazy, and you know, in 2026 and 27, so on and so on. Okay, let me see. I don't have right now any more question. Again, the price will be $9.99. what is will be again on Sui chain. Anything else you want to mention? We catch up on your partnership, on your team. We catch up on the tokenomics, on the utility of the project, of the node. Anything else you want to mention, Yannick?
Yeah, I think like we have a good team of advisors. We have 3 advisors that are public, and then we have a bunch of private advisors. The public advisors are Andrew Durgee, who's now the CEO of Republic, and then Kevin O'Hara, Mark Klein, PhD at MIT, and then we have a bunch of private advisors in the back who are immensely supporting me, who are also part of our syndicate that have invested. And maybe in the future they will come out and they will reveal themselves, but I'm not going to put any pressure on them. But yeah, it's just, I feel like it was such a good decision for me to step up and try and work on my own vision and really drive this project forward, in a sense, because I received so much support. You know, like in the beginning I was like, oh, you know, maybe people are gonna not be sure about whether they should support or not. I'm not sure if I've performed well enough in the past, but yeah, I think it's all playing out very well, and I'm just blessed because I have like these amazing people around me.
Let me ask you the last question. Do we know when the TGE came? Do we know the price, approximately what will be the price? If we know, of course, and do we know any CEX or DEXs where it's going to be listed? It's going to be like one or more. Do we have any information about that? And because I know you have a lot of connection over there in that world, or is it too way early?
I mean, all the conversations and all the processes have already been started because we don't like to be late. But I don't want to announce anything. It's just that the launch is going to be a significant one. We're going to focus on multiple regions, not just one region, so the token is generally accessible. There will be DEXs with big liquidity. What else can I say? At least multiple exchanges once we go to the exchanges. Yeah. Apart from that, the valuation is something that we really cannot talk about at this stage in time. It also highly depends on how much we raise through the node sale. The more we raise, obviously, the higher the valuation will be. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is eventually, and you will be the first one to hear about it once I can talk about it.
Okay, great, Yannick. Again, I think we can finish for today. Because probably going to do another one. We'll see maybe in a month or month and a half, or maybe closer to the TGE, and then we can talk about the new partnership you had, what you build up in the next. What's now is end of January 23rd, 24 today, and then when probably we talk about February, March. So around April time, maybe we can do another one, and we can ask you. We can see where you are, how much money, of course, how many nodes are sold, how is the community growing up, because I can see your Telegram is growing up almost like 800 people, and I've been there since like 20 people, to be honest, and I can see like every day they're coming new, and it's all organic. It's no fake. You can see that because it's still hard to a fake account to join there. Again, I will say just a big thank you, and I wish you huge luck. Everybody who's watching this video, join their Telegram group and their private and their own social media, and ask all the questions you have. Make sure, again, please be aware of scammers and all the stuff people sending you DM. Always be aware of it. Just chat with admin. They will also never ever DM you first, so make sure you understand that. And Yannick is always there. Just shoot up a question, tag him, and he's not there like in the same moment. Probably he'll come back to you later on. And he's very, I can see actually you are very active in the Telegram, because you chatting with the team, you asking questions, you integrate with the people, because that's very good from you. Because most people, like, you go, let's say, to some big project and all that stuff, and you cannot see the CEO. Like, where is the CEO? He's gone. He's always busy, and so you have some random people answering questions. Well, it's not bad, but I highly respect it. You know, when you come and say, yes, this is what we're planning, this is your answer, and all that stuff. So, and again, thank you for that. Again, Yannick, thank you so much from my side. Wish you all the best, and I will speak with you probably in the next couple of months' time.
Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.